Hey guys, today I'm gonna cover how I do my yoinks. So the method I'm gonna show you today is how I discovered it before any huge tutorials were out on YouTube. And of course you're gonna probably see some similarities and stuff, but this is how I've been doing it. So to start off, it obviously sounds like this. With some iterations if you tweak some of this. And of course, if you just change, edit some stuff in Serum, So I can start off with just the raw patch that sounds like this. And it's not too bad, you just need a little bit of post-processing. So I'm not gonna build the patch from scratch because it's gonna take way too long and I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna go over one LFO at a time, show what everything does and how you could do things. And yeah, but first of all, we can start off with the wavetables. So I started with this triangle shape because it sounds like a sine wave, but it just has more harmonics. And then I FM'd that halfway to a basic shapes, which I am currently scrubbing through with this thing. But you can basically use everything that has a lot of harmonics or any simple basic shape. So I can actually maybe try to bypass all of these. So to start off, this LFO is modulating the volume of both the first oscillator and the sub. Sounds like that. And then you can hear those harmonics come through. Obviously I do have saturation and stuff like that on here, so you're gonna get more harmonics, but besides the point. So hop over to the second LFO. If I activate all of these, you can see that it just goes up like that. So it has just one motion and now back and forth. So this is scrubbing through this like that, and it's doing this high pass filter thing that makes the kind of vowel, the yaw kind of sound. And I think it's doing some flanger action over here with the flange minus. And you can also add a knob to this, so you can change it if you want. That, for example, sounds pretty cool. I know it's really low pass right now, but you get the point. So already it's sounding really yoinky, and I probably forgot to mention too that this should be on 2 or 3 depending on how you want it to sound. Here's some more variation potential. And the last LFO basically just goes to this EQ thing, so it cuts away all of the high end before it ends. So it sounds like this without. And you can hear that it sounds really crunchy and, I don't know, scrapey or something in the beginning with a lot of noise and stuff. So if you low pass it, it sounds very rounded off, kind of. And with a bunch of other effects, it's gonna sound way better. So I can go over some of the effects now. We got distortion with just some tube and drive. We got the hyper dimension just to get some stereo in that. Here's one of the most important things in doing these type of sounds, because you're not gonna get the metallic type of sound that you want if you don't use any type of flanger or comb filter over here. You can also probably use this comb filter or reverb, but that's just either preference or it just comes down to the sound that you're looking for. We got the compressor, of course, and I already explained the EQ over here. So now we can jump into some of the effects. And the way I did it was that I just slapped a NASCO meat rack on there. Basically just because it's quick and easy. So if you don't have the meat rack, it's free on Reddit or something, or you can just add an effect rack. Then we do some OTT in here, like that. Save it, call it NASCO _ meat rack, and then hit enter. And boom, let's go, we got it. Now this is what it sounds like right now. A a little bit thicker. So now we can slap on an EQ to clean this up a little bit. So I can just turn off this one, and we're gonna make a dip over here. And this is mainly for the main resonance that comes from the sound. That sort of stuff. So you can just put that somewhere over here, and then I want it to be a little bit louder over here. So you really hear that yawn kind of sound. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for that. Now we can start to play with some of the other things. So over here I got this frequency shifter rack, which basically just, it's 2 chains. You've probably seen this a million times, but I can explain it briefly. So I'm splitting the audio signal into 2 chains right here, the sub into a separate signal and the rest into another signal. And I'm changing that with a frequency shifter, because if you frequency shift something with a sub, you're gonna get some weird sounds. So you can start to play with this. Like that sounds pretty cool. And then we can maybe add a chorus to get a more either detuned or fuller sound. So you can just tweak this as you want. Maybe do something like that, and then I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but it's up to you, alright? Now I'm gonna add some reverb. So you can either add a long classic reverb to this, as like the classic purple Lamborghini, and then you can probably add another OTT after that, just to kind of make the reverb stand out more. And if you don't, you a bitch. So what you can do is turn the dry wet all the way down, and then maybe modulate this, or automate, I should say. And there you got a classic yoink sound. So that's one option you got. And if you want the sound to be more dry, kind of in a more quiet sense, you can do a really short reverb like that, and then turn the dry wet a little bit down. Yeah, and you can also turn up the pre-delay, so you got some reflections going on. But that's up to you. So now, when you got the whole thing, you can make a new project, put this in there, and then you can make 2 patches, so you got the original, and then you can just start to experiment. So let's say, let me find some random wavetables here. I mean, you get pretty different sounds every time, and if you can do the knob thing over here, you can get a lot of variation. See, now this already has a whole different sound. And then after you've changed stuff in Serum, you can start to play with the frequency shifter again to get more variations out of that. And you basically have infinite outcomes just by changing wavetables and flanger position and stuff like that. So yeah, I really hope you learned something from this, even though there may be hundreds of yoink tutorials out there. But I at least hope that you found something that you can take with you or whatever. So I'd love to hear your wonk yoink sounds, but please just don't overuse it. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video.